Hi, my name's Ed from Wildsup Tours, and today I'm going to show you how to fix a wetsuit tear. Here's one of the kids' suits that I brought in. There is a big tear at the back of the suit. This is a Seaskins 543 wetsuit, pretty good wetsuit. So it's got a lot of life left in it. So one of the methods I'm going to do, I've been doing it for years and it's worked really well for me, is I'm going to stitch along the seam and I'm going to put Aquaseal on the outside and the inside, and it should make that watertight again. So guys, some of the things you're going to need to fix this wetsuit is some good quality thread, some top thread. It's quite strong, that'll hold it together. Make sure it's the same color as what you're fixing. I'll need a needle, a good sized needle, not a huge one, just a mid-range one, just for getting through the neoprene. And I also use a thimble as well for pushing the needle through, because sometimes the neoprene can be quite tough and it's quite difficult to push that needle through. So this is quite a handy thing to have. I also got a little syringe, and I put the Aquasure into the syringe, and I can pump right into the kind of cracks of the wetsuit. It's quite a handy thing to use. This is the sealer itself. This is Aquasure. It's about 10 to 12 euros. You will store it, you can store it in your freezer in a sandwich bag and it'll last a pretty long time. Just make sure that you keep the nozzle clean of it after use each time. So let's get to work. So first of all, what we do is stitch the wetsuit. I'm going to do it from the inside. So turn the wetsuit around. So we lay it down. Here, there's our big hole. There is a lining in underneath which is actually pulled back from the wetsuit, but we'll just work on the neoprene and try and attach it together. Okay, so one of the things that I use, which I find very useful, is a thimble. Okay, and that's for pushing the needle through the neoprene, because sometimes it can be quite tough. And a good quality needle, doesn't have to be very heavy duty, but large enough to kind of be able to pierce the neoprene. And top stitching thread as well. So the thread is a little bit thicker and it just ensures that it holds tighter. So here we're going to just start and right at the top of the corner here. And the trick is really getting the needle through, that you're not actually pushing it all the ways through the neoprene. You're kind of almost half going through the neoprene, if you get my drift. So you just pull it tight enough there, okay? And we're going through again. And when the neoprene gets a little bit thicker, we'll just use the thimble to put it through. And And I think the trick into a good wetsuit repair is lots and lots of patience. You might even go a little bit further because it has the potential to rip a little bit more. So I generally tend to go down a small bit further, just knowing where it is. Just another 1 or 2 stitches should do the trick. And you can totally see why a thimble is very handy for this task. Okay, so down at the end, I push the needle through. You don't need to worry about it being such a tight knot because it's going to be covered in Aquaseal anyway, so just make sure it's tidy. Okay, I'm just going to snip that with the scissors. And voila. So I am going to turn the wetsuit around so we can examine my craftsmanship, or lack of it. So there you go. That's the stitching along the seam there. So the wetsuit is sealed, but it's not waterproof. So the next step is we're going to put some Aquaseal on it. So this is the wetsuit, which I stitched earlier on. And I also filled a syringe with the Aquaseal. You don't need much really, because we're just going along the seam along here. I just noticed as well there's an additional nick. I think there's 1 or 2 stitches in it. So I'm going to start off by putting the syringe, and this is why I like using the syringe, is because you can get into those kind of harder to get areas. So just put the syringe gently in there, okay? And I suppose a good idea is to keep the wetsuit completely flat on the surface that you're working in and in a place that's not going to be disturbed. So I'm just going to leave this dry overnight. So as you can see, I'm just running the Aquaseal along the seam and being reasonably generous with it, and make sure you go along the whole seam. Okay, and just allowing the Aquaseal to get into all little grooves and nicks and the imperfections in the wetsuit as well. Okay, I'm going to go back over it again and use up the rest of the Aquaseal on this and give it a good coat along. And I suppose the best thing to do is just be very gentle and be in no rush with it. Now I'm just going to bring the Aquaseal up to the top of the seam as well, just in case there's any more tension on this panel, okay? So there you go. I'm going to clean out the syringe as well, so I can use it for an additional use on the inside. I'm going to leave this dry for maybe about 8 to 10 hours. I'm not going to touch the wetsuit, and hopefully it should dry in nicely. Hi guys, so I've let the Aquaseal dry for 24 hours, and it turned out pretty well. There is a nice clean line over the seam, and it's made the wetsuit nice and durable. Okay, and just to strengthen it up that extra little bit, we're we're going to turn the wetsuit inside out, and we're going to aqua seal it on the inside seam as well. So that will make it really watertight and pretty tough as well. So here's how to do it. Okay, so I have turned the wetsuit inside out and I've laid it flat on the desk, and same thing as the outside seam, I'm just going to run the aqua seal all along the seam, and that should make it pretty tough. The only thing with this one is it's a little bit rougher because the stitches are on it, but I think it'll be pretty easy once to put the aqua seal on anyway. So just like the outside, using the syringe full of aqua seal, and just going to go along the seam as best we can. Again, nice and slow. Ribbon there, and take that off. So, and we'll just let this dry in. Hi guys, I think we're all done here. I've repaired the inside of the wetsuit, the outside of the wetsuit, and it's all sealed up pretty nicely. The wetsuit's very strong. Okay, it's not going to tear around there again, and that should pretty much last as long as the wetsuit lasts. I would actually recommend, because the aqua seal can be sometimes a little bit rough on the inside seams, if you wear a rash vest on the inside. And yeah, I think we're all about done here. There you go, happy days. If you want to see a few more tips and tricks, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Wild Sup Tours, and we'll see you again in a few weeks' time when we make our next installment. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.